She don't believe none of the shit she say. And we don't own the rights to none of the shit.
I'm starting not to believe what you saying.
And trust me. I'm the truth, the light, and the way.
That sounds like Jesus.
Yes! Hallelujah!
Here comes the light.
Glory to God.
Here's the light.
Welcome to another episode of Diva Court.
Yeah.
With me is my co-diva, Curtis Blowett.
Because everybody clap your hands.
Dana Smith. Let me give you the government name.
In the house.
She comes with a disclaimer, so know what's coming over from that side. You don't have to believe it.
Oh, yes, you should.
We are not responsible for the things she's going to say. Notice I said she is.
Yes, no, we're not responsible for anything that we said or liable for your feelings.
And we do not own the rights to any of the topics we're going to talk about.
These things are true.
This is for entertainment purposes only. So please look for our episodes every Wednesday where we push a new one out for you.
Push it good.
And look, I'm gonna need cayenne pepper to stop.
Cayenne pepper, cause I'm caliente, muy caliente.
This is cayenne pepper, not salt and pepper. Okay.
Cayenne is hot, right? Caliente.
Check us out on Spotify.
Is it? It's hot, right? We hot.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts.
Google us. Throw us up in that algorithm.
We have a sponsor.
Hey Curl, hey.
Go to heycurl.shop.
Heycurl.shop.
Get your products. I promise you, I'm using it on my braids. I love the leave-in conditioner. It makes your hair soft and you feel so beautiful. So go to heycurl.shop. We are still giving out our Diva 10 discount. Get Diva 10 code on all our products.
10% off.
10% off. It's worth it, people. I'm telling you, if you try it, you're just going to be like hooked.
Try it.
Try.
You like it.
Try it. I like the shampoo too.
Do you like the shampoo?
I like the shampoo. And I use a shampoo on my braids.
Oh.
Because you got to shampoo your hair.
You got to
even though it's
clean
braided.
it. You got to clean your hair.
So shampoo your hair.
Please do that.
And get you some leave-in conditioner.
Nobody wants to smell that. I don't know where that came from. Just saying.
Topic number 1.
Let's do it.
Atlanta restaurant Argosy says
y'all.
No vax, no wax. Okay,
Well.
that's not what they said. They said no vax, no service. Well, guess what? They also said no shirt, no shoes, no service. Mm-hmm. So what's wrong with saying no vax, no service?
I mean, they could say what they want. That just tells me that they don't want me there.
They want to stay open.
I'll keep my money in my pocket. Keep your money in your pocket.
They want you to keep your money and your COVID.
Listen, it is not unvaccinated people that are passing.
Lies.
It's
lies.
If you're unvaccinated and you get COVID, your ass is at the house. You're not out in these streets. It's the vaccinated people who get COVID, who can still handle it, who are passing the COVID.
Let me tell you something.
Tell me.
It is the unvaccinated who is morphing COVID-19.
Before she gets on her high horse, roll the camera back.
Who said I got off? Who said I got off?
Episode, I don't know what it is, but it's on there
where
she said she wasn't getting vaccinated.
A diva who does not know her facts because it's not in evidence. I said,
what did you say?
Prior to getting a vaccination,
right.
I wanted to do a baseline. And
you
I said it
that.
would be wise to do a baseline. And people, I did a baseline. Echocardiogram, stress echo, GYN, mammogram, all the grams, milligrams.
Did you do it for the gram?
A1C grams. I did it all, and
Did you
I said
on the ground.
Not on the gram.
Not the Instagram.
Not the Instagram. I wanted to make sure that I knew what my health was.
All right. So what if you get a brain tumor? Did you do an MRI?
I don't have a brain tumor. Therefore,
what if the COVID vaccination gave you a brain tumor?
Let me tell you something. What if your nose was a doorpost? Where'd you put the hinges? I mean, we can what if all day.
You know that means. Are you speaking at Jamaican?
That's Jamaican stuff.
I knew it. I knew it. I just sometimes you gotta, like what? What you saying?
You can't be wearing all that Jamaican garb and African garb and sit around here and say, "Oh my God, can y'all help me get this Diva back in check with her African earrings?"
Yes, power to the people.
She want to give a power to the people
I'm for
and
the
can't
people.
speak the people's language.
Well, please teach me because I'm always down.
We could up.
When you say your Jamaican sayings, can you say it in your accent? Make me feel good. Let me hear it in your accent.
Never.
Do it again.
Next, back to
Tell them about the monkey on the tree.
Back to the rich.
What's the one? You remember Gail was telling me about the monkey on the tree, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And you talking about the coconuts and how you got to juggle things. You know what I'm talking about? You know which one I'm talking about?
No, I don't know what she's talking about.
Okay.
Diva just took off topic.
Okay, let's go back.
Let me take you back to Atlanta.
Back to the matter
restaurant
at hand.
that says no vaccination, no service. I am with that.
Mm-hmm.
Guess why? It's a private business, and private business are not government facilities, and you should not be allowed to tell a private entity who they want to permit to come into their service.
Okay, so what if they don't want to let lesbians and gays and blacks and people who didn't get the chickenpox vaccination? And what about if they don't like you because they don't like what you got on? So all of these
Real
things.
talk.
All of these things.
Real talk.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go with my Diva from episode last week, 13. I don't want to be in your club.
Whoop. There it is.
I don't want to eat at your restaurant.
Can we drink to that?
Absolutely.
Yes. Don't go where you don't want to be wanted. Where you don't want to be wanted. Don't go where you're not wanted. Or where you don't want to be wanted either.
I can't even sip.
I don't know what's coming. I don't know what's happening.
She ain't even had a drink yet. This is the first drink of
Marsha,
episode 14.
I really don't know what's going on. But let's stay focused.
If you ever knew what was in here, you would say, y'all really off to something. My Diva last episode said, she don't want to be at your club if you don't want her there.
Don't let me be there.
She don't want to patronize you if you don't want her there.
Don't pretend to be there.
She's not going to give you her money.
I'm not giving you
So
money.
if a private restaurant says she can't come in there because she's not vaccinated, she's good with that.
You know, if my job tells me that only people who vaccinated work here, I would quit. Because I'm not gonna get. I'm not.
That's
gonna,
called.
I don't feel like I should be forced.
Freedom.
Freedom. You see that commercial? Freedom.
That's freedom to die.
Really? Rather to die stand for something than to live standing for
Well, let me
nothing.
tell you what I'm not gonna die from: COVID-19.
I'm not dying. I'm not dying.
20, 21, 22,
And 27.
I don't give a damn what model y'all push out. This sister ain't going with it.
I'm not dying for COVID.
And I'm not going to die from it.
I'm not
dying
dying
for it, cause of it, or
I'm
from
not
it.
dying for it, and I'm not dying from it. I ain't
So
dying.
let me tell y'all what this
got a good 20 years,
Diva did.
at least.
I got all my numbers. I got all my results. I felt good. So I have had vaccine number 1.
So let me ask you this. The FDA did not approve it, so it's still in.
Stop the lies.
I'm asking you.
They have provisional approval.
No. I'm not
They
talking
have
about emergency
use.
approval.
Well, don't say it.
I'm talking about the standard FDA approval.
Let the truth be told. This diva's an attorney first.
I'm asking you.
When we speak facts, let's clarify. We don't broad. It has emergency use approval. That means
That means what?
there's approval. So Diva has to stand corrected when she says
no, but what
it
about
has not been approved.
So it doesn't have its standard FDA approval. It just has emergency
You are
approval.
accurate on that.
Okay.
Because accuracy is critical, especially when our listeners need to be accurate when they repeat us.
Okay, so what is the difference?
Well, the emergency use approval means we're going to let you rush it out because normally our policy and procedure is that something has to be tested for a certain period of time before we'll let it go out.
Right.
But unfortunately, when we use the word pandemic, and because so many people are already dying, we said the risk of doing something versus not doing anything and waiting outweighs waiting.
Okay.
So we know that the vaccine has risks associated with it, just like every other medicine we give you. If you're on any type of medication that was created by Pfizer, Geyser, Disguiser, it has side effects. So stop playing games with yourself.
Okay, so I understand that. So why am I being ridiculed?
Ridicule.
There you go. Talk about my speech impediment. Ridiculed. I can spell it. IT. I can spell it. Why am I being ridiculed and persecuted? Because I'm just waiting for the FDA to put their final stamp on it because it's still in the testing phase.
Now, first of all, let me ask some questions because you know this clarifier will clarify. Who's persecuting you, ma'am?
Obviously, Argo's restaurant. No shout out to y'all.
No, they said eat somewhere else, girl.
See?
Have your meals at your house.
I definitely will.
Let me tell you what Argosy didn't do. They didn't turn off your stove.
I bet you your food ain't good anyways.
Listen, they didn't come get your refrigerator. Huh? They did not block the way to
hey, I just want to say for the record, if you're not vaccinated, do not order takeout from them.
Listen to me.
They don't want you there.
I just want to say for the record, they did not block her from Checkers because she went there today.
What are you talking about?
You ate at Checkers. Argosy said, go to Checkers with your unvaccinated self.
Is that what they said?
They didn't block it.
All I'm saying is
you said
this.
You were being persecuted.
Don't go to them for takeout.
But it's
you
like
said
the only concern is like, oh, you can't eat in. We'll happily give you the takeout.
I wouldn't. No, don't go there for takeout.
Where's the
because they making up the rules as they go.
Yeah,
you give
as
them
they die and go.
You give them an inch, they'll take them out.
And
guess what? When they still get COVID, because the unvaccinated people are still
giving it to everybody.
Touche. It ain't that funny, Mario. It's like he got the real boy. He went high. Michelle Obama said, when they go low,
you go high.
What I'm trying to say is that when no unvaccinated people go and they only have vaccinated,
they're going to the grave.
When they only have vaccinated people.
And Argosy said, go without coming over here.
Let me finish my statement.
Okay, let me let her make her
point.
When
it's only vaccinated people who go to the restaurant and someone still gets COVID, then what are we doing then? Are we changing the policy?
Here's what we're doing.
Because they were vaccinated. They're assuming somebody came in there. Assumption, which we don't know if they had the vaccination or not. They're assuming
70% of the people are unvaccinated.
No,
then their assumption is a good one.
But here's the thing. In that area, people wear masks. This is not OTP. This is
like an
ITP. All of these things, we assuming everything. Everything is an assumption. But I just know that.
Oh, look here. I don't assume.
I just know that I work in that area.
My assumption.
I'm just saying. Let me just get my topic out. I work in that area, and prior to a vaccination existing, everybody had their masks. Once the vaccination happened, when everybody was getting the vaccination, people started taking off their masks. What I see in the area is that there's people with their masks on, there's people without their masks. It's because of the area it's an assumption, but I'm assuming that most of the people who don't have their masks on are vaccinated.
And I think that's a wrong assumption. When the numbers
in the area.
No, I don't care. In the state. Let's talk about the state.
The state, come on. Atlanta is completely different than Newman.
70% of the people are not vaccinated.
And
so
that's
trust
like
me.
Rural
trust
Georgia.
Me. No, when you see the large number of people that you're seeing in the area that you work in that don't have on a mask, rest assured, 70% of them are unvaccinated.
I don't agree with that numbers because in that community, these are true vaccinated people. Like, they were all wearing masks. Like, 3 weeks ago, everybody had a mask on. Like, nobody, and if you didn't have your mask, everybody was looking at you funny. If I forgot to put my mask on going to the store, you getting these dirty looks. Like, everybody had a mask on. The only time that it changed is when vaccinations started coming out, and then it changed when Joe Biden was like, if you've been vaccinated, now it's okay for you to go around without your mask. And then that's when
Right, because let me tell you how science works. Science.
I don't want to know how science works.
Let me tell you how science works. Science is like this. We have a new disease that we are trying to figure it out, right? That's fair. That's like trying to figure out what you're going to be when you grow up. You're going to pick a career, you're going to change majors, you're not going to graduate, you're going to switch schools, you're trying to learn yourself. Consider science like that. So we are trying to learn a lot about this virus right now, okay? So I can understand when we initially got vaccines that the president said, hey, they're already bucking and chomping at the bits. They don't want to wear this mask. The vaccines are supposed to work in a reduction of the spread. That's why he went on this campaign about how many million arms he wanted to put the vaccines in, because his impression was if the people listen and they do what I'm saying, if they get vaccinated and we can keep this thing from morphing into COVID-19, 2021, 22, we can keep the new models from coming out, then we would be okay. Unfortunately, I don't think President Biden anticipated the number of political, emotional, and ignorance associated with, I'm not just going to get this vaccine. You understand?
I don't necessarily assume that it's ignorant.
Hold on a second. Some of it is ignorant, because I've heard a lot of people, I've heard some of the people saying the vaccine doesn't work. And I said, based on what? I don't know. I just heard it don't work.
Well, I think they're saying that it doesn't work because you can still get,
correct.
There are vaccinations that you will not get X disease.
But
X,
remember,
Y, and Z disease.
We are still in the emergency use stage of this vaccine, but we had to get something out, because with 600,000 people dead, I lost my mother in 2020. I am seriously angry because I think that she wasn't counted in the COVID count because nobody knew to test her for that.
COVID. Right.
And I think that's why we lost her. This is a woman who walked into a hospital in November of 2019 and never got back out. And the only thing they want to explain is, oh, well, how old was she? Don't ask me that question. Don't put it off on her age. You know what I'm saying? And if you put it off on her age, it was the older people who were dying at a much faster rate when it first started. Yeah. So I'm very emotional about that situation, because I feel like she wasn't even counted. She didn't even get a shot because the government was irresponsible in not making sure that they were paying attention to this disease and to pay attention to, wait, I can see on satellite that the cars in China are filling up at the emergency room. What's going on over there? Yeah, those are the things that they knew. I'm not saying they knew whether that disease was going to come or not, but they knew. No, but they didn't even investigate what's going on in China. And are we still going to let flights come?
The CIA knew.
Well, I think somebody knew, but I think the problem we have is when you have a Kofifi as a president.
No, but Kofifi said, shut it down. Don't let nobody from China come over with their China.
Kofifi said you had a common cold and go away.
No. He did say in China.
What news were you watching? No,
I put on everything I love. He said in China that we should not have anybody.
Put it on burgers, because I don't want you putting on none of your kids.
Anybody from China, he wanted to shut down the flights. And they said
that is after the fact. He initially started. No, he initially started with, hey,
look that up so I can.
Our producer's going to look it up for you, and you're going to be able to clarify.
Go ahead.
But he initially said, hey, it's a Democratic hoax. Nothing to it. Remember that Democratic hoax?
I'm not saying that he didn't say that.
Hold on, you got to check that off first before we move on. Did he say it was a Democratic hoax?
I am not Team Trump. I believe that he said that.
Look, Trumpet, did he say it?
Do not call me that.
You don't
disrespect me like that, Marsha.
You disrespecting yourself. Did he say it was a Democratic hoax?
He did.
All right. Did he say it's like the flu?
I don't know if he said that.
He said it.
Okay.
Let me clarify for you, right?
Okay.
He said it was going to go away, just like the flu. Going to disappear, just like a cold. It was going to go away.
It was going to go away in April.
That's irresponsible.
I'm not saying that he was not irresponsible, but I do know that he said that he wanted to shut down travel from China. And they were calling him a xenophobe, and that's when he was saying the China virus.
I don't like using they. Okay,
The
I wanna
media
know
and the
exactly
politicians,
who. I
Joe
think
Biden,
it was more people who are
and
about
Nancy
money.
Pelosi,
Money.
and the Democratic
Money.
Party was saying that
Millionaires wanted the thing
being
to
a
keep going because they
xenophobe.
wanted their stocks not to affect their
I
economy.
understand that, but he did say let's not have travel from China.
But I'm gonna get back to the topic that we started on
Where
because
is
we
he?
went
Are
off
you
for a
not
little
looking
bit.
this up?
The Argosy restaurant is accurate. It's a private business. It's not a government agency.
Oh, yeah,
and
they
it
can-
says,
they can do
and
it.
to be honest with you, if they were a government agency, they could still do it because government agencies right now, like public schools, will tell you if your child is not vaccinated for mumps, measles, and
You get a
rubella.
religious exemption. You can.
Okay, go ahead and get your religious
I'm
exemption.
not gonna get a religious
Did
exemption.
your children get those vaccines?
Yes, they did.
Okay then.
I'm okay with. I'm
Can
not
I drink,
anti.
Can I drink to that?
We
Because
can't
at
drink to
least she vaxxed them kids.
I'm still waiting for this.
I'm gonna need you to take your sip so we can stay focused. Next up is Argosy is doing the right thing as it pertains.
and that makes it. And you know what? I want them to do that. So I want another story to go back a couple of months later and see now that everybody's been checked to make sure that the vaccination cards are in place and nobody's wearing a mask now and they all in
So
there
you're not
doing
anticipating any fraudulent cards? You didn't hear that was being sold?
Oh, so now it's fraudulent
Hold
cards.
on. You
So we
I'm
just
gonna need my
so we'll
diva to
never
stay
know.
in the new. No,
We'll
no.
never
It's
know.
not that we never know.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that there
Answer
won't
that
be.
question first
I'm
before
not
you
saying,
explain.
but that's another assumption.
This co-diva is just like
she
witnesses
tryna-
on the stand that
Yeah,
I'm
she trying to wrap me
cross-examining.
up. That's what I was saying. She trying to
And
lure
guess
me up.
what? You don't answer the question and then just explain it. You may explain
Okay,
your
go ahead.
answer, but at least answer the
All
question
right, I'll
first.
lure me up. I'm on the
Do
staff.
you take into account that the numbers are going to be slightly off because there are going to be people with fraudulent vaccine cards?
I cannot
Do you think
confirm or deny. But given for the possibility that it could possibly happen and people that desperate to go to that restaurant, yeah, somebody might make a fraudulent card. I would rather make a fraudulent card to get into the bank so I can get access to my money or maybe go to a grocery store, but not to sit in somebody's restaurant. But let's just assume that somebody really cared about that restaurant.
you forgot that your Governor Kemp felt like it was good to get to a massage parlor even when the virus was jumping? And he opened up getting a haircut, and he opened up the gyms. Did you remember that? That Georgia was first out the blocks?
Listen, I was a part of that first responders. I was a first responder. I was a part
What
of that.
were you responding to?
To
Haircut?
haircuts. I was responding to haircuts.
How many people were injured based on the fact that
had the haircut? Really? Where was that laugh when Mario was laughing? Where was that laugh then?
Look, hey, let me ask you a question. How many people died from not getting a haircut?
I don't know.
Okay, then 0.
I don't
Okay,
know.
we can run the numbers on that. I think
Okay, now
the
wait.
restaurant.
Wait. I answered your question, so can I have my follow-up
Well,
answer?
you get to explain your
Okay,
answer.
so can I explain my answer?
Absolutely.
There is a possibility that people might have fraudulent cards. However, what I'm trying to say is that once everybody has their card, you know what I'm saying? And let's just say that the majority of them are not fraudulent and everybody is in there and they're not wearing their mask. I would like to know if anybody got sick after the fact. Because now no one's wearing their mask. That doesn't mean that they can't get COVID. They can still get COVID and they can still pass it on to the workers.
So let me
at
ask
the
you a
end of the
question.
day,
So let me
it
ask you a
doesn't
question.
matter. If you have a mask, what matters is this. The effects, if the vaccination works, the effects will be less, but that doesn't mean that you can't pass it, and that doesn't mean that you can't get it. So if you are vaccinated and you got COVID for someone who's unvaccinated, it's going to be the same effect if you got somebody who is vaccinated who got COVID and passed it to you and you had the vaccination.
So let me ask you a question.
That's my point.
Does a seatbelt reduce the likelihood of you dying in a car accident?
That has been FDA approved. Y'all like that? Can we drink to that?
So you're not going to answer
Can
the
we drink
question?
to that?
That was a yes or a no.
Are you gonna leave?
I'm going to leave you right out there on the ledge. Yeah, you sip to that by yourself. Does a seatbelt reduce the chances of dying in an auto accident?
That is true.
Do you put a seatbelt on your children when you put them in the car?
That is also true.
Does the law in the state that you live in require that your children wear a seatbelt?
That is also true.
Was that done by government?
That is true as well.
Okay. So let's put the vaccine in the seatbelt range. Consider it a seatbelt. It's not going to stop your car accident.
Hold on.
You're still going to get the disease if you're exposed to it in a particular manner. However, it's going to reduce your likelihood of dying from the disease.
But it doesn't
That
reduce.
is all
but that's
my
not
point is.
I know, but what I'm saying is that.
So I laid that down.
The
Hey.
the restaurant owner and his employees,
Marsha.
they're vaccinated. They got sick. They're vaccinated and they still got sick. They don't know if someone who was unvaccinated or someone who was vaccinated passed it to them. So what they're doing is to minimize the possibility of getting it. They're requiring people who are unvaccinated to not come in. So that doesn't mean that it's a zero possibility that they're going to get it. You're vaccinated, you still got it, and your business still shut down, and you still got sick.
Nobody is saying that you're not going to catch the disease, just like with the influenza
But
vaccine.
keep this in
you
mind.
can get the influenza vaccine and still get the flu.
Do you think? But what I'm saying is that his strategy doesn't make sense. His strategy doesn't make sense because those same people who are vaccinated go home to maybe people who are not vaccinated. They can get sick from them and bring it to the job. So it does not make sense.
The man said, if I could stay open 25 days out of the month instead of just 2, I'm going to do it. He's reducing the closings. He's tried it without policing it. And what he's saying is, I've had to close down. My staff can't come to work. I would have to hire another group of people. I have to come up with something because I'm erring on the side of staying open and staying in business or just letting everybody come in and go bankrupt. I say stay in business. And if it doesn't work, he's going to know it doesn't work. You understand what I'm saying?
But from a person who worked in an environment that we had something similar, we had just 2 groups. So we had a group to come in at the beginning of the week and a group that came in at the end of the week to keep people separate, to keep them all in their separate circles. So if one person got sick in that circle, everybody gets tested to make sure you don't have it, to kind of minimize it. That makes more sense. This strategy that he's coming up with, it doesn't make sense. Prior to this, like, other people were wearing masks. So it'd be like, what we do is if you don't have a vaccination, you show us your card. If you don't have it, you have to wear your mask. That makes more sense because you won't be spreading it. Then you won't be losing money. Or just when you're in the restaurant, everybody can wear a mask until they sit into the section that they're in. And the employees can still wear masks. You already know. When you got your mask on and you are a waiter or a waitress, it's less spit on your food.
That's why this eat out queen had to back off eating out.
It's less spit in your
when
food.
the reality of how much saliva was in my meal hit me, I said, okay, cooking at the house is not so difficult after all.
If you're vaccinated and you're wearing a mask and you work there, then you should be at a way lower percent than if you are vaccinated and you don't wear your mask. And the people who are vaccinated are there and they don't wear their mask.
That's why California said, put them back on in the building.
That's what I'm saying.
Put them back
all I'm
on.
telling you
he
is
can't
that his
control
strategy.
your campus.
You can't control the employees.
He can't control Kemp. So if your governor would say there's a mask mandate in the state, I'm sure he would say you don't have to be vaccinated because at least you have a mask mandate.
There's not a mask mandate. But just like it's a private business, and he went to the extreme to say, if you're not vaccinated, don't come in. Well, if you don't wear a mask, don't come in. How about that? If you are vaccinated and you don't want to wear your mask, show us your card. That is how you solve the whole problem.
The man said, I've tried it, and I'm keeping my business
He ain't tried.
open.
No, I don't know if he tried it. He just
kudos
letting people
to
walk
you.
around. He just letting people walk around with no
Diva
mask.
drops the gavel for Argosy. I'm with them.
Because you're stupid. It don't make sense. Your policy don't make sense.
Point, a good policy is your employees just need to wear a mask all the time.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Even if they're vaccinated.
That's a good thing.
You'll have double protection. You'll be vaccinated with a mask on.
And you'll keep your spit out my meal.
And you
How
keep your
about
spit
that?
out my food.
That's really
but the DEA
Thank you.
The DEA couldn't keep the spit out or keep the food out. The DEA
Can't keep
agent
the fool
can't
out
keep
of
the
his
fool
life.
out of the Capitol.
No, he can't. No, he can't.
DEA agent charged with involvement in the Capitol riots.
You know what?
And used his ID to get in,
Listen,
honey.
those conservatives, they were so right about this.
That the feds was involved.
A
Fed was involved.
Fed, no association,
Wow.
but a Fed. Not
Unbelievable.
a Fed was involved.
Federal employee who's supposed to be a provisional employee too. So happy to get in.
He
the
just
spot.
got the job.
Just got the job. We still in training, sir. We hadn't gotten to the ethics class yet though, because he would have known it's unethical to try to use your badge to gain access to the Capitol.
I wonder, did he have to take the psychological test before or after the provisional?
No, he wasn't done yet. He wasn't done. He might have taken the first part of his psychological
take the
test,
other part.
but he didn't take the other part.
He,
yet.
he took the proud
He
to
only took-
be
yeah.
American.
Yeah, he took
that
one.
part.
He took that one.
The
Yeah.
declaration of
That's
being
it.
an American citizen.
He had the part that was I pledge allegiance to the
the
flag.
flag.
Yeah, they went over the pledge with him.
That's it. I pledge allegiance to my country, and I will fight for the right to protect my
he didn't
country
get to
at all
ethics.
costs for domestic and foreign. And this is a domestic situation.
Well, he's got a mess on his hands because they've charged him, they've arrested him, and they need to convict him. After a fair trial, that would be.
You already convicted after your fair trial.
After your fair trial, sir, you're gonna get a little bit of what they call it, Yosemite Sam. Hang
When
him.
I say
no,
whoa,
he said
that
hang
one?
him, and then he's got one where he says hang him, and he said no, give him a fair trial and then hang him.
Yosemite Sam?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
On the the
It's
cartoon?
a cartoon. Yes, it's a cartoon. It's supposed
Ooh,
to be
he
a joke.
racist.
Oh my goodness.
They ain't canceled Yosemite
How
Sam?
did you-
When I say whoa, I mean whoa.
Yosemite.
How would you see race in that, Cody?
Hang them?
He said hang him, then give him a fair trial and hang.
That sounds like how black people used to live
Oh,
their
that's
life.
the only way? The other
Yes.
criminals wasn't hung?
I don't believe when he said that.
Oh, okay.
That's a reference to
So
how
all
black people was
punishment,
treated.
when we say hang them at the gallows, that wasn't white people weren't being for their crimes? Is that what you're
Yosemite
saying?
Sam
I asked the question.
is from America.
Did you hear the question?
He American.
The question is, when they were hanging people for their crimes and beating them in the square, did they only do blacks?
No, the whites got a trial. It might have
She
been.
added a trial.
The whites did get a trial. I didn't say it was fair,
And
but
then
they
they
got
hung
it. They had a trial.
So that's
that-
why he said, give
they
him
had a
fair
trial.
then hang him. Hang him like you hang the white people. Yeah. He didn't care. They were hanging everybody then.
He
Now,
said
you might
hang
not have got a
them
trial.
and then give them a fair trial.
Maybe the black ones.
That's
didn't.
was the black ones. The white ones would get a trial that wasn't
And then
fair,
hang 'em.
and then got
That
hung.
was his problem. That was
Exactly.
His
He
point. That
got
was his
it,
point.
and that's when.
Now we off topic, but we're gonna go
Yosemite
back
Sam is a
because you know
racist.
Codiva strays. It's hard to keep her.
I'm just calling
It's
racism
just-
out everywhere
Hey,
I see it.
She finding rocks.
She's dropping racism bombs.
Why you sound like a 90s radio host? Like,
Because
yeah,
it's a smooth jazz
92.3.
era. It's Diva Court.
For the
It's Diva
9-5.
cool. That's it. So
All right.
according to the documents, Mark, what's his name? Gresham? Ibrahim?
Ibram.
Ibrahim. Sound like
Who
Abraham.
sound like you got a speech
Sound like
impediment
Abraham,
too.
huh? Abraham. Mark Abraham.
That was
Ibrahim.
before he was
Converted
Yeah.
from Paul and Saul.
from Abram and Abraham. You know, it was Abram.
Orange County, California, repeatedly displayed his government firearm and his DEA
Wait,
badge
what you
while
say?
he was storming the Capitol. Hey, DEA, let me in. We're coming in to investigate. No, you're not. You're coming in to commit a crime, sir.
Oh, here's the funny thing. Y'all remember that law that Trump put out that said if you violated a statute, you go to jail for 10 years? He got charged with that.
His president gave him that.
Oh my God.
He got one
charged
count
with
of
that.
false statement.
False statement.
Feds cannot lie to the feds.
You can't lie to the
Especially when the
feds.
feds is investigating the feds. Just remember that. If you're under investigation.
I need a lawyer. How about that?
I was investigating. I was on a mission. It was a Blues Brothers mission. You remember that show, Blues Brothers? You not
no,
young
I
enough?
don't remember
I'm
that.
sorry, she's not young enough.
I
to
wasn't
remember
old
Blues
enough.
Brothers. She was too old.
She go.
Entering and remaining on the premises. Is that part of Trump's? Is that one of him? Step and climb.
No, the step and
on
climb.
remove.
That's
Step
the
and
Trump
climb.
one.
Step and climb is a remove. Step or climb. And he was climbing.
He was climbing and he stepped on
Capitol
it.
grounds
He had to step on
and
it to climb.
building. No firearm. That joker got 4 or 5 counts of stuff. But good luck to you, Mr. Ibrahim. You know they're going
Ibram.
to change his name in prison. He's going to get a Muslim name when they get in there. So
He's not
DEA
black.
does their time. I mean, feds like
Flintstone, you're fired!
that was Trump.
Bleep.
Trump
That's
fired
all,
him.
folks.
Trump fired him because he was caught.
Do whites
Remember, he
convert-
don't like people that get caught.
Do whites
That's why he didn't like that Senator McCain.
Do whites convert to Islam in prison?
I am certain they do. If they're trying to get you behind not beat, you convert to anything when
I
you
don't
get in
know.
prison.
I think that's Nation of Islam. I don't know if that's regular.
They don't care
Islam.
what Islam. They're gonna convert just to make sure.
I don't think the Nation is accepting
you know
white
prison got
applications.
cliques, girl. In order to stay safe, you need a group.
What I'm saying is the Nation of Islam is not accepting white applications.
In prison, they are. Cause you in here with me. You get your membership.
You know any white Nation of Islam
I'm
prisoners?
certain there's one. They don't have their whole prison, but there's a member in
He
that
might be
group.
passing like Rachel.
He said, "Look here,
He might be
somebody for me is black. Just Pete don't beat me up."
He said, I'm light skinned.
He said, "I'm just light skinned. I'm
Oh,
not
that's-
really white. I'm not really white. Please, just don't beat me up." So
Oh,
to stay safe
I
in the
know
population.
this is off topic, which most things I say
Always,
are off topic. But I was on Facebook, and there was this Asian guy that he was doing his hair. So you know how Asian hair is like really slick. Like I don't know what part of Asia he was from, so I'm just gonna say Asian.
Slick.
But he wasn't Indian. Very straight black hair. So what he did was he took like some little straws and he went through his whole head and made like little straw sets in his head. He put perm on the straw set, let it sit, took the straw set out, then spreaded it, faded the sides, and it looked like he had an afro, like,
Wow.
yes.
So he got African hair out of
He got African hair from
Out
doing
of-
a perm.
what?
Yeah. So maybe that's what the Muslim white man could be doing. There was a connection, y'all.
Sir, Mr. DEA, they're not gonna give you no perm stuff in there, okay?
You ain't got no
So
perm.
just know
You better go get a perm before you go in.
they're not gonna let you wear a wig. So you could try that if you want to, okay? Don't do it. Bamber Bridge riots.
Bamba.
June 24th, 1943.
1943.
White soldiers from America fought black soldiers from America.
Wow.
You're shocked? You're
No.
surprised? I said
No,
1943.
that's what we need, a Flavor Flav. Can we get a little bit of Flavor Flav? Wow.
No, we can't get a flavor flavor.
You know why you got that wow? Do you know why? I'm going to let you finish your story.
No,
though.
go ahead, because you
I'm
always
going to let you
interrupt them
finish. I'm going to
anyway.
Kanye
Go
you.
ahead.
I'm going to let
Go
you
ahead.
finish.
Go Kanye me. Go ahead and Kanye me. Take my Taylor Swift award and just trample on it
No.
when Beyonce is coming up next. But you don't care.
No, finish because it'll make more sense once I say it. Go ahead.
The white soldiers
The white soldiers.
were fighting.
They were honorable, right?
Honorable what? There's nothing honorable about
No.
fighting your own black soldiers.
They were fighting their own American
Their
soldiers.
own American black
who
soldiers.
happened to be black.
There was a battle.
It was
in-
a battle.
They went to go fight in Britain.
Okay.
And listeners,
Who were they fighting in Britain?
for freedom.
And who were they going against?
Not their own freedom.
Who were they fighting
I don't
against?
know. You know what? The
Was
story
it the
ain't-
Nazis?
The story ain't the story. Oh, the Nazis.
They
the
was
Nazis,
fighting the Nazis. So
That's
they,
it, the
so
Nazis.
white American soldiers came to fight
So
Nazis.
no. White American soldiers and black American soldiers
Yeah.
went to Britain
Mhm.
to fight the Nazis.
All right.
Right? They get there and Britain is like, we're desegregated. White
Mm.
people and white people over here, they go to bars together, they eat together, they do whatever they want together.
Right.
And the white soldiers said, not back in America, we don't. So they cannot patronize this pub. And the white people said, no, we're British. This
Who
is
run it?
what? They said, this is, I'm sorry, y'all here to
This
help
land
us
is
fight.
Your land. This land is our land. From Great Britain.
They said,
To the Cayman Islands.
they said, hold on,
Even
American soldiers.
Jamaicans.
You might have forgotten where you are.
Right.
We know you're American soldiers, but you're fighting in
Our
Britain.
land.
Yeah, this is our country. You know, our rules, our laws, this is what works. And the American white soldiers said no and started.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. First of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
So the white soldiers said, oh no.
They said, wait a minute.
They said, wait a minute. These brothers will not eat in this restaurant. They will not have beers in this pub. And the British said,
Who gonna check me, boo?
They did. And they said, then it's a black only pub.
Now it's black only, so you can't
Now
come.
it's black only. You get out. And the white soldiers said, oh no, we're taking people to jail. And started trying to arrest the black soldiers. So of course it ended in a fight. The other black soldiers who were back at the camp, they heard what was going on out in the streets and had to start getting weapons from the store owners in Britain to help them fight the white soldiers.
Wow.
And when the black soldiers got back, they were court-martialed by the American military.
That's crazy.
That's
So
racism.
that is
if you
true.
want to see it.
So you know what?
Stevie Wonder could see that one.
You know what? World War II, many people say that was the best generation of people. Have you heard that before?
Never.
I heard it. It's a conservative talking point. They say that
I
the
don't
World
listen
War
to
II
conservative
generation.
talking points. Is that what you're saying?
I
Fox News told you that?
I listen to all types of conservative.
Is that why you so wishy-washy?
Wishy-washy. I stand on whatever I believe in at that time.
All right.
At that time, and I'm okay with that.
She said when she turn off your radio show, she don't believe that shit no more.
I just believe I don't believe anybody has absolute truth, and I learned that from a mentor.
Oh,
of mine.
God does. Now come on now, sister.
He's not anybody. He's not anybody. That's a heavenly Father.
Don't let me. You better clarify.
I'm talking about humans do not have absolute truth. I feel like everything's a political agenda. But
so let me
going
ask
back
you a
to my
question.
point,
You being a woman, is that an absolute?
that is an absolute.
That's not.
That's the only thing that's absolute. I don't have to go to the doctor. I'm just saying. Okay, see, you gonna get us in trouble. I ain't got to change.
You just said
I ain't got to change.
that man does not have the absolute truth. Oh, you just didn't mean woman?
I'm living in my truth. I don't know if we talk about
Is
the
it
same
true?
thing.
Is it true? Is it true that you're a woman?
All day.
Okay then.
Let me check.
So I guess one man. so one
Let me
man.
check.
Look, look here.
You keep taking me there.
You
Stop
know
it.
what?
You so bad.
You know
You
what?
so bad.
She
You a
is
bad
out of
girl.
control.
I had a point. Can I make this point right quick?
You got a pencil point. Go ahead.
What I'm saying is that conservatives have been saying that the World War II generation was the best generation because they went over there and they fought for the rights of the Jews who were just getting destroyed by the Holocaust, and they fought in Nazi Germany, and they said you treat people equally and you treat them fair and you treat them right. And so they get so appalled. Make sure my hair is right. They
Oh,
get
it's got to
so
be right when
appalled.
you say all that foolishness.
They get so appalled.
She
when
said
they
my
see
statements are wrong. My
when they
hair need to be
see-
right.
Colin Kaepernick take a knee because you're disrespecting American soldiers. But they don't want
They said flag. They ain't said nothing about a soldier.
No, they said the American soldiers, the flag, America, anything that has to do with America, you disrespect.
Those people were worshiping a flag, honey.
So
they
they
said that man cannot kneel down
They
because
said
I
that you're
worship a
disrespecting
flag.
the military too. They said that. You know, when they say it's police brutality, they're like, no, you're disrespecting the military. That's what they say.
Okay.
I'm only saying it because I be on Facebook and that's what they say.
Okay, go ahead.
So
make your
I
point.
say all that to say
She got a point.
there is a
somewhere
point.
around here.
You remember that when we taking a knee, you remember this fight when these same American soldiers that y'all put on this pedestal decided to go fight
Their own.
kind, their
Just
own
because
people,
they were black.
just because they were black. And
I'm
you
trying to
tell me,
protect you. I'm shooting people for you.
You over here fighting Nazis who hate people based off of who they are, and you're doing the exact same thing. Now I call that hypocrisy or shamocracy. What do you think?
I say shamocracy.
For 200.
For 200. Matter of fact, we need to add 1,000.
When I say whoa, I mean whoa.
What's going.
You were talking about the hypocrisy,
hypocrisy
of
of it all.
them saying that Kaepernick kneeling
Right.
is a disrespect to the military.
When the military
disrespected themselves.
Exactly.
By trying to fight their own soldiers
Yeah.
because they were black and being treated equal.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Shame, shame, shame. I don't
19.
want to.
How
There
about
it
that?
is.
Diva Court is all about the truth
So
bombs.
somebody told me that they're going to make a women, be able to sign up for the military.
I'm with that. I am with that. There is in the news legislation that's being pushed that females should have to register for selective service. Currently, only males have to register for selective service once they turn 18 years of age. We haven't had a draft since World War II.
I was gonna say
Vietnam War? We haven't had a
gonna say-
draft since Vietnam War. So women don't have anything to worry about. But my point is not whether they have anything to worry about or not. My point is, you want equal? That's equal.
Who said? I didn't say I wanted that.
Oh,
I got out, but
she said,
no.
she said, I said mequal. I didn't say equal.
Only for me.
I want to be
Equal
mequal.
for me.
I want to be mequal. Me.
No.
Me.
I have 3 young girls, and I don't want them to go from just sign up for it to next thing you know it's a draft.
I say they should.
No.
If they want equal pay, equal time, equal treatment, they should get
Are you saying
equal.
let them hoes fight?
Hey.
Let them hoes
She
fight.
got a song for
Let
that.
them hoes
And
fight.
I've never heard the song
Let them
before
hoes fight.
until Diva Court.
Let them
today.
fight. Shout out to
Co-Diva sang.
Detroit DJs back in 98, 96 for the 9-5
Okay, then.
and the 2000s.
You got any more numbers you want to push out before we go? COVID-19. Just keep your 20 and your 21 to yourself. But yeah, I think girls should have to register. I mean, if we're gonna be equal, let's all the way equal. They want to be in the military. They want to go on the battlefield. Is that your face? Is that your new face or your old face?
I don't know. All I know is that I have 3 daughters under the age of 18.
They
and
should register at 18.
I don't want them. You know what? I honestly was thinking about maybe allowing them to look into get into the military.
No.
I have family members in the military. I just don't want nobody telling me that I have to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to feel.
Wow.
I just want I don't mind. I
That
think the military is great.
smells so supremacy over there.
It's called black supremacy, and I'm okay with that.
Supremacy. I smell it coming from that direction.
I don't want nobody to tell me what I have to do.
Let me tell you something. They're telling you what
Let
you
me
have to
tell
do
you
every
something.
single day.
That's true.
They tell you go to get an annual exam and you go. They tell you get a breast exam and you do. They tell you comb your hair and you do. They tell you fix your hair and you do.
I ain't comb my hair
They told
today.
you put on some makeup, make you look better and you do. They told you, them earrings hanging dangling, put some holes in your ears.
Hanging, dangling.
And you do. There's a
Let
lot
it hang.
that people are told to do and they do it. So it's hypocrisy,
Yeah.
democracy. I call it sha'Carri.
I just don't know how to
What you
answer
say?
that.
Move on from that story right there. That's a roadblock. So Bamber Bridge riots, Bamber Bridge soldiers, we salute you. You did a good job leaving your country to fight for what was wrong, and you should have been treated better. And I hope people know their history. That was your little known history fact.
CRT for that ass.
CRT,
for that
critical
ass.
race theory.
Say for that ass.
For that tush.
For the tushy.
CRT for that tush.
Tushy pat.
Marsha.
Clark Atlanta University cancels 2020 account balances.
They should have canceled
Them
19
degrees.
and 18 and 17
Go Diva said cancel your diploma.
and 16.
Girl, you
Just
know
be
how
in
many
high school.
CAU graduates are out there. They're gonna come for you.
I don't come for it. It should have been a high school.
HBC, CAU.
I went to HBC.
You didn't go to the AU Center though.
No, I definitely did not.
Hey. I didn't
Definitely
either,
did
so
not.
let me stop haying.
I went to ASU. Woo, woo.
Is that what they do there?
AS.
Is that an HBCU?
Yes, it is.
Oh, wow. I didn't do one. I've tested one, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm just going to stop right there. Y'all hear that brakes?
Pump them.
When I say whoa, I mean whoa.
There were a few that you avoided. But
So you want me to go there? Let me just
No,
go
no,
there.
no. You don't have to go there because we might need them in the future.
Okay.
So we'll leave it alone.
I'm gonna leave it alone because
We
my
value
co-diva
all
says
education.
we value all education.
Yes.
H B C E F G
Yes.
H I J K L M
All
N O P.
we say is
all
make
of it.
count.
Make it count. Make it count.
And that
Don't
goes
get
from
that written off.
administrators.
Let me tell you something. When I saw that news report, it looks like wasn't nobody be able to afford 2021-22 school year anyway. So they look like they were going to go out of business because a lot of the students say, my account is frozen and I can't come back. So the only way to get the students back in the classroom was to
wipe
say,
the debt.
wipe out that debt.
You know what? Let's
Wipe out 1 year and give them another.
How about this? How about we give a shout out to Clark Atlanta? Because y'all know that 2021 was not great for any college, even Harvard. It was not their best work. And I'm saying
Well, it wasn't the best product.
That's what I'm saying. The teachers, it wasn't the teachers' best work.
To tell me
It
your
wasn't-
Zoom camera wouldn't work because you didn't want to come to class.
It wasn't a good product. It
Yeah,
should have
yeah,
been
the product- the
discounted
product was discounted.
or refunded.
Yeah.
If
And
it-
they were still charging people for the gym that they couldn't go in
Yeah.
and the pool they couldn't swim in.
Yeah.
And
So, no, it
the
wasn't
parking
your best
spots
work.
that nobody was
So,
parking in, and that was unfair.
Shout out to Clark for doing the right
Yes,
thing.
Kudos, Clark. Kudos, Clark. And all you Clark Atlanta University graduates that have blown up, please go back and give some money.
They probably mad because
It wasn't their
ones-
year.
That's probably why. They mad. They mad.
They're calling the president.
Like,
Excuse me.
excuse me.
Are you considering anybody graduated prior
me.
to 2020?
Excuse me, you know that degree wasn't. Never mind. Never mind.
Kudos to them. New
Yes.
Georgia Supreme Court Justice.
Shout out to Kemp in the building.
Look here, Kempist. I am not giving Kempist any credit for that.
Why?
Here's why I'm not giving
You
him
gave
credit.
Joe Biden credit for what's that holiday that I can't remember? Juneteenth.
Oh, the one that you were celebrating before he decided to make it a federal holiday?
Exactly. You gave him credit for that.
Shame on you.
You gave him credit
for
for
not
that.
knowing the holiday that you said you were celebrating prior to. I guess that's why when you
only
start this show, you
celebrated-
say, don't believe nothing I
That's
said.
true. But I only celebrated because Blackish had an episode.
Oh, they taught you about it? That's a
That's true.
shame. She learning Black history
true.
from television comedies.
Yeah.
Watch-
That's-
then watch
I
Blackish.
tell no lies.
Hey, and that's why you watch Diva Court, because you're learning a lot from Diva Court.
Yeah.
So don't you ever.
They didn't teach Juneteenth in Michigan.
We taught it in Diva Court. We talked
We
about
did.
the holiday.
We did.
Federal.
So if you could give Joe Biden credit for Juneteenth, why you can't give Kemp credit for our first African American woman on the Supreme Court of Georgia?
Who says she's the
said that with
first?
power. I don't know.
Making up facts, not in evidence.
Is she the first?
I don't know if she's the first.
I thought I saw that. I thought I saw the article that
it
said
says
she was
new.
the first.
I know it says new. But here's the thing.
Can we look it up?
I
and
don't
see
think
if
she's
she's
the first. It doesn't say anything about first. I don't think it says first. But I am proud that a black female justice, and let me tell you why I'm not proud of Kemp and why he gets no ding and he gets no champagne. Excuse me, you feeling okay? Are you feeling okay?
You know how your mama said you making faces, they gonna get stuck. I got stuck for a second.
I just wanted to know if the first responder
ahead.
needed a first responder.
Come get me.
I give him no credit because next year is an election year, and he knew that black women voters could no longer be ignored. We are now a force to reckon with. Ask Alabama, ask Stacey Abrams. He knew he was gonna need those votes. He's up for election 22.
But if he didn't care about black
No,
vote,
he cares about regular.
I didn't
me tell you
say
why
it.
he
If
care
he
about-
didn't care about the black vote, he wouldn't have cared to put
The
her up
only
there.
reason he cares about the black vote is because he knew that the black vote turned this state blue. So he don't want to be black and blue in
So
22.
that
so
makes me
based
like
on
him
that,
more.
no.
Why would it make me
Because
like him
you
more?
said he had a motive, just like you said
Right.
Kamala Mamala had a motive.
She don't
by
have no
saying-
motive.
You did say
She
had
don't have
a
a motive for black people. I don't
That's-
care if you were Asian for white supremacy, but you do well for blacks. If you can be an Asian for white supremacy, but if you were like, all right, blacks, we're gonna do this and this and this and this for
said
you.
Biden had a motive and Kamala
Biden
had
gave
a
us
motive.
BS. A Georgia Supreme Court justice that's a black woman. Hopefully she lives her truth.
Hey,
Is better
Wait,
than
don't. No, I don't want her to live her truth. I want her to live the truth, because her truth might be, I have come up, I worked hard, I did everything I was supposed
By
to
myself?
do. By myself. I spoke intelligently.
I lifted up myself by my bootstraps.
I don't want her to discount the hard work
That
of
was
all
people who
the
came before
black
her.
females that struggled, hit that glass ceiling, and cracked it for her to break through it.
I agree with that.
I don't want her to discount the fact that
Can we
2022
drink
is.
that? Because I'm thirsty.
Oh, Jesus. Let me tell you something. I ain't know I was gonna get a cold diva that was thirsty.
I just be saying stuff to get Marsha.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Just to see what you gonna say.
Look, your husband gonna be mad when you up in here talking about you thirsty.
I'm thirsty. I'm just thirsty a little bit. Just a touch.
So I don't want her to discount.
Okay.
I don't want her to discount that it's 2022 is an election year.
All right.
I don't want her to discount the hard work that Stacey Abrams did in pushing those
Why we gotta
votes.
talk about Stacey?
Because we
You
give
can talk
credit.
about. Can we talk about Harriet Tubman or something? Like,
here,
give me somebody who really did something.
Let me tell you
Harriet
something.
Tubman.
I am not going to discount
Let's
this
talk
red
about
state being a blue state.
Ida B. Wells.
And in fact, if you think that just like how you think Juneteenth should not have people sit on their stool or do nothing and think that Juneteenth means anything and not want to do anything, additional, don't want to do any work for additional reforms and for additional change and substantial change. I don't want her to think that there's nothing left to be done because I'm now a black female justice. We have arrived. I don't want her to see it as an arrival. Kudos to her.
And
but
kudos
ma'am,
can you give Kim some credit?
no kudos to Kim.
Why?
I kudos him when he pack his bag
I
and
guess
get
my
out that
question,
governor's mansion.
here's my thing. If you know that black people turned the state blue, their vote, and now you're like, you know what? It makes sense for me to do stuff for black people so they can vote for me. So let me just start doing stuff for black people.
Hey,
and if you continue that because you still want to be governor
Let me ask you a question.
in your next term, that benefits us.
The
So
value
do it for
you
us.
gave to Juneteenth, I want you to give the same value to this for Kim. It's nothing. It's nothing.
So why didn't you give the value? So you're not gonna give the value to?
I'm giving the value you gave.
Are you gonna give Joe Biden the value?
I'm giving the value you gave Biden for Juneteenth.
So you telling me to
Kemp.
give?
What was your value? Discount.
But my value is greater.
No, you low-load him. You said that's not even a holiday. So what? Juneteenth, everybody was celebrating it, and who cares?
Right, but Eric, there's not many, or if any, black women on the Georgia Supreme Court. So
There's not any right now. She'll be the only one.
She is right. So what? That's remarkable. That's a new thing.
If Kim,
Juneteenth was been
Listen to me.
celebrated.
No,
that wasn't.
no,
He
no,
didn't
it wasn't.
create the holiday. He didn't say, "All right, blacks, what y'all want?" and we gonna name it Juneteenth.
Let me
he
tell you
didn't
something.
originate it. He didn't fight
Governor
for it.
Kemp
He didn't do nothing.
thinks he can.
He
fool-
nominated. He picked.
Governor Kemp thinks he can fool black female voters
So did Joe Biden. Though.
into voting for him
Joe Biden
in
fooled a lot of
2020 because he plucked a black female who should have already been on that bench. And I can understand people going, "Oh, there was no vacancy." Don't write me, don't call me, don't talk to me. Like I'm saying,
Please write us, talk
You
to her,
get-
and call her.
you get to, hey, if you want to do some
Be a
comments,
commenter.
comments. Okay?
If you need a great lawyer,
Yes,
please.
if you need a good lawyer, comments.
She is not telling you guys to not contact her. You stop saying that.
So contact me, Diva Court. Contact me. But my point
They gonna be
is,
calling
my
the
point
law
is,
office.
he's got a motive. He's got a motive. His motive is to be reelected.
All politicians do.
I know they do, but they don't do anything right in between time and in the meantime. So if it weren't an election year, she probably would not have been selected.
Okay, so Kemp has been the governor for less than 4 years. Joe Biden has been a senator since the day that Christ made it to earth. And he's been racist for probably 70% of that. And he has done a lot of things that put black people in harm's way. He has perpetuated the prison pipeline from the schools to the prisons. He had a racist, white, supremacist Klan leader that he used to work with. He didn't want his children in these racial jungles. All of these things that Biden has a history of doing. Kemp only been there for 4 years.
Okay, so let me tell you how Kemp started his party. He had a bus in his commercial to become governor.
Okay.
And he had a shotgun sitting on his porch, and as far as he was concerned, he was going to load up all the Mexicans and all the Hispanics and the illegals and take them back across the border. Sir, you're racist. Your commercial was racist. You were lucky to have had a president who was racist.
He didn't say Jamaicans, and he ain't say black. So what you worried about it for?
Look at it. Look here.
I was just playing.
If it happens to one,
It's gonna
it
happen
happens
to
to all. I'm not waiting to be next. I had a law professor that told me it's like kudzu on the back porch. It don't take he says kudzu in the backyard.
Kudzu.
Kudzu. The green thing that grows all over the place without you watering it and doing
I thought
nothing.
you were saying
and it climbs
kudzu.
the trees.
I thought you were saying because you was in the backyard. We got you.
That's Ebonics, and I wasn't using Ebonics at that time. Kudzu, not cuz you.
Because we got you.
It's only a matter of time before it makes it up to the back porch and takes over your home. So when injustice, what did Martin Luther King say?
That white supremacy is alive and well.
Injustice against one person is justice against everybody.
But again, he hasn't done that. There was not even a border. It wasn't even. We're not even a bordering country.
That's my point. That's how racist it is. That he's not even a border country. Not a border state.
We're a border
and
state.
he's talking about that. That's to show you he knew what he was doing.
But it was
because if
just
he were
a
a
vote.
border state and he actually was speaking to his constituents
wouldn't have
about
said that.
something he knew was a problem in his
He
state,
wouldn't have said that.
of course he would have said it.
Right.
He would have said
He
it.
just
And
said it for votes.
Had he, and that's my point. It's racist. And you knew you had Trump in the White House who was sparting off, they're racist and they're robber. And he saw Trump win an election based on calling Hispanic people racist and robbers and killers and stuff. And he used it. And then he thought, oh, I was just joking. I won.
But then on the second time around.
So you turning your racism off, sir? Now that you're in the governor's mansion?
So did Joe Biden. He turned off his racism.
Well, guess what? Joe Biden's is old and his is new. So if you're talking about new sexually transmitted disease versus old sexual transmitted
I would rather have a new one.
Oh, you want the new kind?
Yeah, because
How about
syphilis. Hold on. Because if
Look
you.
at it.
Right.
Oh, she wanted the worst kind.
No, listen. Because if you have syphilis for long, your brain is mush. But if you just get syphilis, you can get treated for that. For the record, I do not have syphilis.
Did she come on a whole new disease? That's what I was like. Are you saying your brain is mush and that's why?
Shut up. But that's what I'm saying. You don't want old syphilis.
I think
Justice
something to consider
Verida.
is the fact that she's replacing another black justice
Correct.
who left the bench.
See, he
did.
could replace her with a white woman or a white man.
Well,
Not in the
could
2020
he?
election. Not
He
in his
could've.
election
He
coming up.
could've. But
No,
he made
let me tell you something.
a thoughtful decision.
He didn't have a choice.
Just replace the same black bitch with another one.
Don't you call that black woman the B word. What's wrong with you?
No, I'm saying from his mouth.
Yeah. That's
He
his
didn't
thought
have to
process.
do anything.
And I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
He
ain't
didn't
nothing
have to do it.
Yeah, he had to. He had to. You
Just
know
like
why?
Joe Biden had
you know
to do that.
You know why? No,
Juneteenth.
Joe Biden had to pick Kamala. He had to. Because we are
needed
now
an
being
Indian.
heard. No,
We
we're
needed-
now being heard. Our
Who
votes
is
matter.
we?
Black
Who is
women.
we? That is not true.
Black, look at Alabama, honey.
That's
they
not
were gonna.
true. That happened prior to Joe Biden.
Let me tell you something. Alabama was,
happened prior to Joe Biden.
Alabama was going. You know who made Joe Biden the running candidate?
Say that again.
Do you know what state? Do you know which voters caused Biden, who was losing badly in the runoffs,
South
to
Carolina.
take the lead? Do you know which voters, ma'am?
I understand that.
Black
women,
women.
ignorant voters. That
Black.
don't-
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Did you just say black old ignorant voters on Diva Court?
What I say this to say.
No. You got to clean. You got clean up on
I'm
aisle
trying to
5.
clean it up. I say this to say because they don't know the history of Joe Biden. Like they don't know the history.
She said they old, but they don't know history.
Because you could have. They don't. There's a lot of people who old and don't know.
Who, girl?
And what I'm saying is that
You know what?
Kamala was in the race then. They could have voted for her,
Listen to me.
but they didn't. But guess what? They didn't do.
He had
just
several
like the
white women he
Clintons.
could pick
It's
from, but he
just a-
couldn't. We are now getting
So he-
smarter and wiser,
Well, he might- he
and we're
could've-
voting.
he picked
And
a
because
woman.
voting laws,
He
no
did
matter
not-
how suppressive and oppressive, we are now realizing the power of votes. People were telling us, "Oh, you ain't got to vote. They're gonna do what they want to do anyway. Oh, your vote don't count," and all those things. We're like, okay, you know what? Then I'm not counting anyway. And black women got up and said, something has to be done. You're not gonna kill my husband. You're not gonna shoot my sons in the back. I'm going to vote. And what I'm saying to you, it was black voters.
I understand that, but they were duped. They were duped.
I don't want to get to why. I'm getting to who.
I understand that. I understand that our vote has power. I'm not taking that away. But if it's taken under false pretenses, then it's still a worthless vote.
That's why voting for Kemp next year, 2022, will be a worthless vote. Thank you, Co-Diva.
What I'm saying is that when you
That's a
portray
worthless vote.
an image that is not the case,
You mean like Kemp?
I get that. Okay, but that's what I'm saying.
I
Can
was
you
just
see
checking.
the same correlation with Joe Biden?
No.
It's the same.
No, I cannot.
It's the same.
No, I cannot.
Why is it different?
Because I can see Biden doing a lot more even when he doesn't have to. When it's not an election year and he's already won and he's trying to keep the promises that he made. And Congress is running
still
amok.
waiting.
And Mitch McConnell,
I'm still
who
waiting.
they might as well call Bitch McConnell, is still running a block.
That rhymed.
So now,
Oh, now you said that with power. Say it again.
I'm going to drink to that.
Say it again.
Please look for our episodes every Wednesday, because this hot mess over here. Check us out on Wednesdays. Don't forget to go to YouTube and subscribe. Check us out on Spotify.
We need to continue this conversation.
Check us out on Apple Podcasts. Check us out on Google Podcasts. And catch us every week on YouTube. Tell us what you want to hear about. Co-Divas, we'll talk about it. No topic is off limits. Let me stop lying. Some of them will be.
Well, what is off
But
limits?
I don't know yet. Depends on what they ask me to talk about.
Should I go there? I ain't gonna go there. But I
No,
went
that's
there
correct.
anyways.
So comment. We will comment, but we might not bring it on video. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to episode 14.
Yes, let them hoes
and
fight.
As always say, you can drink to that.
Mine is gone.
See the greedy Diva? We got to drink to that.